When I was growing up, my favorite thing to do was to tell stories. In fact, this is Jeffrey, and he was one of my very first characters when I was growing up, telling stories at the age of like 4 or something. And that has continued throughout my life. It's changed mediums and forms over the course of that time. I grew up as a little girl playing with my toys and telling stories, really dramatic stories for like a 4-year-old. And then when I got older, I started creating new characters of drawings that I had made, fan fiction and things like that of like Sly Cooper and Jack and Daxter. And then I started writing my own stories. I wrote a couple of novels when I was a teenager, and it was excellent. And I grew up knowing that that is what I wanted to do more than anything else. I wanted to tell stories. And when I was younger, when I was a teenager, I was convinced that the way that I was going to do that was by getting published, by being a published author. And that hasn't fully left me. That is still a goal that I would like to accomplish one day. But it turns out that writing a novel is really hard and time consuming. So it hasn't happened yet. But in and amongst all of that, as I was trying to facilitate this passion that I've had my entire life, a friend of mine introduced me to Dungeons and Dragons. And in D&D, I discovered an outlet for that passion, and I was hooked immediately. I started running D&D for the first time almost 10 years ago now, and I haven't stopped since. I love telling stories, and that is one of the reasons I offer up D&D as a service now through Start Playing. Because I want to be able to share these stories with people, and I want to be able to share in the joy that some of these stories can bring to other people, and I want to write stories with other people. It was one of my favorite things to do when I was a teenager, is to role play with some of my friends on like AIM. Sometimes I think about, what would my 8-year-old, 16-year-old self think of me now if she was to find out that I am not yet a published author? And there's sometimes where I feel like that girl would be disappointed because I haven't done that yet. But then there's another part of me that realizes that what I wanted that whole time was not necessarily just to tell stories, but to be able to share stories with people. And I feel like running D&D in the capacity that I have been doing for the past decade is so much more fulfilling to me than writing a book and then just seeing nebulous posts about it on Reddit. I just wanted to share that because this is something that has been a passion of mine from the very beginning, and I hope I get to continue to have the privilege of getting to share that with other people as well.